Hi, my name is Tess Jones, and my research is how teachers can improve reading instruction for low achieving, economically disadvantaged students lacking parent involvement. My research question: how can elementary teachers improve reading instruction for low achieving, economically disadvantaged students lacking parent involvement? My purpose for choosing this is the school from this study has a very high low-income student population. About 91% receive free or reduced lunch. There is a lot of students in Tier 2 and Tier 3 instruction, and there are teachers that are just wanting to meet their needs and find something that's going to work for these students. And so I thought this was an opportunity to do some research and see what does work for these students. From the literature review, I found that it is typical for students from low-income families to lack the parent involvement, and they often begin school academically behind their age peers. And so the purpose of the tier instruction, the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, is for us to catch those students up and for them to get that more intensive instruction than the other students are getting so that the gap gets bridged. But I found out, well, what teachers need or expect is for also these students who are behind to go home and get time with their parents practicing their reading skills, because it's hard to get this big of a gap to be bridged just during school hours. And so we want the parents working with them as well. But from the research, these low-income students, they're just not getting all that support at home. And I thought it was interesting from the literature review. I found that it's most important that parents have the positive attitude for students' achievement, not exactly just that they make sure that they do their homework each night. So for teachers, when choosing what kind of curriculum to use, I found 4 strategies that are have been researched and will help to bridge the achievement gap. First, I found arts-based, and this can be done through drama, through music, through poems, through rhymes, through dancing. And what I found from this is that this arts-based curriculum helps boost confidence, helps boost motivation and fluency in young students. They enjoy it and they like it, and that motivates them to do their best and work hard on it. Next, I found computer-assisted instruction. The specific study that is in the literature review was on an urban school, and there were just too many students in the classrooms, and this computer-assisted instruction gave an opportunity, almost like a one-on-one experience, because the computer can adjust to the students' needs, giving them a more individualized program than these teachers were able to give these students that were overwhelmed with so many students. And so they found gains from this. And then next I found knowledge-based reading curriculum. The knowledge is a critical component for reading. It's a huge factor if the student's going to understand what they're reading. And when the knowledge is there, students are able to use their context text clues they understand what they're reading about, so they're going to be able to read better. And then just overall, all of these would be done in a small group instruction. The impact of small groups is very tremendous. Getting students together, teachers can be more flexible with these students. They can be more individualized with their groupings and what they're doing with each group. And guided reading lessons have been proven to be very beneficial. Methods. There were 3 groups in this study, and each group received a different reading instruction. So one group received the arts-based program, one group received the knowledge-based program, and one group received the computer-assisted program. It began in August and it ran through February. In the beginning, there was a benchmark assessment. It was taken to figure out how many words per minute the student was reading at the beginning of second grade. And this score put them into a tier. So if they were reading on grade level, they were put into tier 1. And then if they were behind, they were put into tier 2, and more behind, they were put into tier 3. And so the students from this study were all tier 2. And the instruction was implemented every day. And every 2 weeks, the students were progress monitored to see how much growth there was. And then a final post-assessment was administered in February to see if the students reached their goals and how much growth there was. The participants in this study, there were 17 total. They were all from the same East Tennessee Elementary School. They were all second graders receiving Tier 2 reading instruction daily, and they all come from low-income families. The results, this graph chart shows the percentage of students from each group that reached their goal. So as you can see, the knowledge-based program had around 57% of the students that met their goal by February through this program, and then arts-based 40% and computer-assisted 20%. My conclusions and recommendations for this. Knowledge is a critical component of the reading process. If a teacher is searching for an effective reading program for low-income students that really has to boost their reading, look for one that has a strong knowledge component to really help them with the reading fluency and their knowledge behind it. Small group instruction improves reading for low-achieving, economically disadvantaged students. So through all of the groups, they were all small groups, and they all did show improvement with their students. And so small group instruction is a very important component of reading instruction. And more research should be conducted to see how the same group of students from August to February, how the same group did with the different curriculums used for them. So maybe 2 months of arts, 2 months of knowledge, and then 2 months of the computer, and see how the growth changes. And maybe some students respond better towards the arts, or some students respond worse towards the knowledge. Just more research on that would, I think, help teachers when they are choosing this an effective reading program. So thank you, and if you have any questions, please ask and let me know.